Out there, you know who they are. They're the Bass Brothers. We love them. It's Finley and Karen Stilwell, and welcome to the stage, their mother, Shannon.
One of the first human events oh wait, that's Karen's American History Month. Hang on, I have a picture somewhere. But seriously, I want you all to think of a time when you felt a bit awkward. Maybe you weren't chosen for a team. Maybe there was a group that you just never could fit in with, no matter how hard you tried. How about public speaking? Have you ever felt awkward and out of place? Maybe you felt a little like I do now. That is how many children with special needs have felt while engaging in group activities, sports, or just being in public. Tonight, we are all here for the same reason. It's all about those kids. K-I-D-S. It's all about the kids. I'm going to use this as an acronym to make a few points. K is for kindness. Kindness comes from each person who touches our kids' lives. People like my kids' current and past coaches, including Coach Martin and Coach Porcelain. Dedicated volunteers that have devoted countless hours, like Rodney, Mac, Alan, and Craig. The YMCA staff that have been so patient, like Adam, Matt, Corey, Sarah, Tunde, Mariah, and others whose names I may not have learned, and now Kendra. K is also for the special kindness of volunteer buddies who run up to the boys and greet them each week. Buddies whose parents have told me they chose being a buddy over a Saturday game, or over a vacation, or maybe even a school activity, or hanging out with their friends. And the adult buddies who sometimes rearrange work schedules or other personal commitments to be a buddy on a Saturday morning. I think all of the kindness that comes from volunteers that work behind the scenes, buddies that assist the kids during the sports, and the board members and employees of the Langham Creek YMCA that make sure each program is well run. Well, we just covered K. The next letter is I. I is for inclusion. This means taking all of the different disabilities, whether visible or invisible, minor or severe. Most of you know my children, Kieran and Finley. Kieran, the youngest, doesn't have a physical disability, but he has a formal autism diagnosis. This causes issues with social interactions, meaning he sometimes says and does things that aren't appropriate. His attention span can also be a little short at times, and that is an understatement. But the programs of the Y are designed to look past that and focus on the positives in each child. My oldest is Finley. Occasionally they are mistaken for twins, but they aren't. They are a year and about 12 hours apart. Thankfully, they weren't born the same day, or it would be a little bit more confusing to explain than it already is. To highlight how different each child can be, let me tell you about Finley. He is very social and likes to communicate, but has several physical challenges. Combine them and you have to be very patient, as it takes him a little while longer than most to speak and get his point across. If you don't get it the first time, don't worry, because he is fine repeating it until you do. And his run is, well, he gets there. But he really enjoys each program because everyone involved is positive, and every attempt, whether successful or not, is a positive experience. Before we were introduced to the Miracle League at the Langham Creek Y, we contacted other organized sports programs to be told things like, "We're sorry, but we really can't accommodate your disability," or "We will contact you if we have a program that might suit your children better." To the worst, "You will have to stay with him the whole time and remove him if he becomes a disruption." The few programs we found for the kids were either a very long drive or cost a lot of money. Then one day a flyer came home in Finley's backpack. It was already past registration, but Tunde went ahead and registered us, and wouldn't you know, I had the flu the morning of the first ever Miracle League game. Thank God for husbands and friends taking lots of pictures and video. There were only 2 teams on that opening day, but by week 2 it had grown so much, the teams were doubled at several positions, and the staff saw they were going to have to add teams and order uniforms. Thanks to the kindness of Sammy Barcelona, the uniforms were taken care of and helped relieve a big financial burden to this new and exciting program to give it a kickstart. Okay, we are through K and I. Let's talk about D, discipline. There are a lot of aspects to sports that teach discipline. Before each event, the kids learn they need to get dressed in uniform. I know parents that said, well, we got the shirt on this time, to, well, we got the pants on this week, to, hey, what do you know? He dressed himself and was ready an hour before we left. The kids figure out there are fairly regular game schedules, which could easily be resolved by a second sports field. And they learn patience through understanding the games have rules and structure. They learn teamwork and how to take turns. The only thing I can't seem to get to stick is that baseball players tuck in their shirts. But we all pick our battles. And last is S. S is for sports. I enjoy seeing my kids participate in physical activity. Sometimes the best physical therapy is not taught by a teacher in a clinic, but learned from a peer or modeled by a buddy. The kids learn self-confidence from trying, and more often than not, succeeding. This is reinforced by the cheers coming from the bleachers and also their buddies. These cheers are not just rewards for success. These cheers also say, you gave it your best shot and we appreciate you trying. And what kid does not like to hear his name announced with a great walkout song? It also does a little something for a mom to hear, here comes the Bash Brothers. That's why we all do what we do. It is for the kids. KIDS. The recipe for success is a dash of kindness, a sprinkle of inclusion, a healthy dose of discipline, and a big scoop of sports. In closing, I just want to share one of my favorite scriptures. It is Romans 12:12. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. Kids, parents, volunteers, and staff all need to have patience, hope, and faith. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. That was